Expecting to see Valen doing the sports, right? Well, that is because she is out and about this morning focusing on golf. And Valen, they say when in Rome, do as the Romans. So when you're on the greens, you must do as the golfers. I'm going to have to ask you that all-important question. What's your handicap, Sunny?
Well, Ayanda, you've really put me on the spot here because I actually am not a very good golfer at all. I run, and that's going to be my excuse. So I can't claim to have a handicap. A very good morning to you and welcome to the magnificent Glendower Golf Club, which is the host for the BMW South African Open Championship hosted by the city of Ekurhuleni. A little earlier on, we chatted to the executive mayor. With me, I'm now joined by South African golfer William Coetzee. He's ranked number 89 in the world currently, just coming back from a broken ankle that we broke during surfing in September last year. But you're looking great, and I know that you've been on the course. It's not going to be your first event back, but welcome to Morning Live.
This is actually my first event back. I hear you say you're a runner. I think you'd beat me in running at the moment, even when I'm fit. But yeah, it's nice to be here, being hosted by City of Ekurhuleni. It's a great place. I mean, the golf course looks in great shape, and it's nice to make my comeback at the BMW South African Open.
Okay, so this is the big comeback. So it actually, the recovery was a lot longer than what you had initially anticipated.
Yeah, I was hoping, when I broke the ankle, I kind of set my goals early on, and I was hoping to be back. And I was looking at 13, 14 weeks after the break, but that was very hopeful of me, and it was kind of good to set those goals because it made me work very hard in the beginning stages of the rehab. And luckily now, I mean, it's 5 months later, but 5 months in, it's looking very good, and I'm feeling pretty good to make my comeback.
It just didn't happen at a very good time, did it, to go surfing and pop out that ankle? I mean, you had just secured 2 European Tour wins. You were enjoying your top 50 world ranking and had just ended 7th at the PGA Championship. I mean, how have you mentally come back from that?
I mean, it's not every day you complain about a 5-month holiday, but I think this time it probably wasn't the best timing, but I try to look at the positive sides, and I'm well rested, and I think this year could be a pretty good year if I approach it the right way, and I definitely won't burn out too fast.
Let's focus on the positives now. You mentioned that what a great event to actually make your comeback at the South African Open Championship. As a South African golfer, why is this such an important event and one that you'd like to win?
I guess as a South African, it's my national open. It doesn't get much more important than that other than the majors, but it's also the second oldest Open Championship in the world, and it's got a lot of prestige to it. And I know every golfer here, especially the South Africans, they'll be vying for the top spot, and everybody's very eager to get the trophy, and it's got a lot of big names on it. So if you can win that, it definitely puts you in good stead for the year.
It's also got a one Ernie Els's name on the trophy for he's won it 5 times, and I know that you in previous interviews have said that he's a role model of yours and the reason that you actually play golf.
Yeah, I grew up playing tennis, and I watched a lot of tennis, and I remember we lived in Stilbaai for a year. I just came back from there, but I remember watching in 1994, I watched the US Open, and I saw all the people watching the South African guy play golf, and he won the US Open, and I was like, wow, this is quite amazing. I mean, so many people cheering on one single guy playing golf, and I just decided, you know what, tennis is not for me. I want to become a golfer, and I kind of based my mental game or my approach to the game kind of around Ernie Els and the way he used to do things. And yeah, he's a big role model for me, and I definitely aspire to achieve what he's achieved in the game.
How are you feeling now?
I don't know. There's no expectations for me this week. Obviously, everybody's here to win, but obviously coming from 5 months away from playing competitive golf it's a little bit of a different approach. I'm going to try and play as good as I possibly can, but there's no guarantees that the game will kick into shape in the first week. I've got 8 weeks in a row now, so I can definitely kind of grind my game and work on things that need to be worked on, and hopefully by the end of the 8 weeks I'll be playing the way I should be.
It made big news, Charles Schwartzel actually pulling out of the South African Open Championship because he had a stomach virus and he lost in a dramatic playoff last year to the eventual champion Andy Sullivan. If you have to choose one of your fellow South Africans that may be with you hoping to maybe make the make the winner's circle and potentially get there? Who would you pick out as a potential South African winner this year?
Well, I think not to step on any toes, I'm going to take the safe route. I think it's a good opportunity for a lot of the Sunshine Tour players to get onto the European Tour and obviously get into high up on the order of merit early on in the season. So you'd think maybe the Ernie or the Grace, but I think it'd be nice if it's someone who could maybe break through and maybe just get onto the bigger stage and prove themselves over the world.
Yeah, like Andy Sullivan, it was his maiden European Tour triumph last year that he secured right here at the South African Open Championship. We wish you all the best of luck as well as for the season ahead. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
That's George Coetzee, South African professional golfer, making a comeback after 5 months. He broke his ankle while he was busy surfing in Bali. And that's not the only adventurous injury that he's had. I understand that he's also broken his wrist a couple of years ago while he was mountain biking. Thankfully, he doesn't do mountain biking anymore. But it's great to see that our golfers are not just always out enjoying the magnificent view of the golf course, but they also have got quite an adventurous spirit. We're going to be chatting to Selwyn Nathan a little bit later on. He is the executive director of the Sunshine Tour because they co-sanction this South African Open Championship. So we look forward to chatting to him just before 8 o'clock. For now, it's back to the studio.